What's up, everybody? I'm Roadblock. This is a Raid Shadow Legends video, and we're back on the Ninja account. But I did want to kind of talk about where I've been a little bit. I mean, for you guys, it may not seem like anything, but I feel like I haven't made content in several days. And I've been really debating whether or not I even wanted to make a video about this, or if I wanted to, talk about this. But basically, the last video that I put out got a lot of flack. And it's such a difficult thing for me to talk about because, believe me, I've been thinking about this all weekend and even most of today. Um, should I release a video? Should I not? Should I acknowledge it? Should I not? The conclusion that I ultimately came to is that the majority of you who comment on my videos, message me in Discord, post in chat during my live streams, the majority of you all seem to appreciate the fact, and I hate using this term to be honest, but that I'm real. You know, um, I, I don't like using that term because I feel like it's a label and that I'm, uh, you know, a lot of people use it as an excuse to be dickheads. Um, but I'm honest is the way that I would look at it. And so um I don't feel like it would I feel like it would be disingenuous of me to like not talk about stuff that was going on with me. Whether, maybe you don't care. Maybe you're here to only see my raid content. You don't care about me as a person or what's going on with me or whatever. But basically, to sum it all up very succinctly, my last video got a lot of like negative feedback. Now, majority of likes, right? Like no dislike, very few well, like I think it was like 90 some percent of likes. Like there's just a couple of comments that seemed to be very negative, for lack of a better word, and I will admit that a lot of it could have been in my interpretation of those comments, right? um I'm not exactly the most positive person all the time, and if I'm not in the right headspace and I read a comment, it's very easy for me to take those words and put that mental negative twist on them. And I'm aware of this enough, and the only reason I'm aware of it is it's just something I've had to struggle my whole life with, right? And so, when you have friends and family telling you like I didn't mean it that way a lot, you start to pick up on the fact that okay, maybe it's all in my head. Regardless, it definitely put me in kind of a bad, I don't want to say mental space or anything. Like, I don't want to scare anybody. It wasn't anything like that, but it just didn't give me the positive feelings that I get when I make you guys videos. To perfectly clear, it's a perfectly valid comment. There were at least two of them that I remember reading. I'm not trying to dog in anyone's comment. I'm not trying to say that I'm not open to different opinions about my account and what advice I give. Like, I'm very open to that, and we're going to talk about the specifics of it. But basically, I just needed to take a little bit of a break, and I wanted to bring attention to that. uh, Not to get like, oh, but we love you, bro. Not like it's not what I'm looking for. I just wanted to let you guys know because, like I said, I just don't feel like I'm. If I just ignore it and don't talk about it and just go on as usual, I don't know. That just doesn't feel right to me. And I thought long and hard about this, and I'm sure I'm going to get some heat in the comments. Like, the thing I always hear is, well, if you can't handle negative comments, then you're in the wrong. You shouldn't be making YouTube videos, whatever. And like, that's a fair point, I guess, but it is what it is. I just wanted to share with you guys that, but I do want to respond to those comments as well. And um, so I don't have them clipped or anything. I'm not trying to like throw shade at anybody. I'm not trying to highlight anybody. I'm simply trying to further explain my thought process about why I didn't go for the Thor fusion. Now, could I have gone for the Thor fusion? Probably. I'm not going to say 100% yes. I'm not. Because I still stand by what I said in that video. I don't. Perhaps I could have gotten very lucky with my ancient shard pulls I did do ancient shard pulls on my main account for that champion chase and managed to get enough. But ancient shards are also kind of valuable still on this level of an account, and I would rather pull them during a 2x, right? And so I don't. While yes, I'm getting a really good legendary, I'm also getting a legendary that I can't book. I can kind of master. I know he's really good. I know I really wanted him. It was just a tough spot. And I didn't want the big thing that I think everyone that's like, first of all, one of the advice that I got was like, well, if you waited to pull Loki, I can't. That I'm making the video in the here and the now, not the shoulda, woulda, couldas. Okay, like I mean, you could save all your fragment summons and everything until you're. Well, no, I couldn't have waited to pull Loki that long. That doesn't make any sense at all. Actually, now that I think about it, to do the trick to skip past the menu for friggin' 2 weeks until the Thor fusion. I don't know. I don't think that's. I mean, yes, you could do it, but I'm not down with that. But regardless, what it boils down to is the comfort level of the player. And while other players may be more comfortable and confident than I am in my abilities to go after a fusion this early in the account, I'm not. And that's the bottom line. I was not comfortable going for it. Would I have been more comfortable if we started with a summon rush and ended with a champion chase? You're damn right I would have been more comfortable with it because it's just easier. I'm not saying it's impossible. I'm saying it's harder and less desirable for me to pursue it with the way they structured this particular fusion. And that's the end of the story. I'm sorry that you don't agree with that, but that's how I feel. And my feelings are valid because it's my account. I'm allowed to play my account. And I tell this to you guys too. You're allowed to play the account the way that you want to as well. So for those of you that are not involved in this discussion and you're just bystanders and you're just observing my reaction to it, always remember. I mean, this is one thing I love about Boozer's channel. He has a disclaimer at the top of it in every single episode and probably his live streams too that says, hey, take all advice with a grain of salt, basically, right? Because everyone's account is different and how everyone's play style is different, how you approach things is different. So everything I say to you guys needs to be taken with a grain of salt. I'm giving you recommendations off of content that I get and off of my personal feelings about the game and how I like to go about things. I'm not hyper efficient in this. I'm not super relaxed in this. I'm somewhere in the middle. And I think that's where most of us fall. So, bottom line, I did not feel comfortable that I could complete the fusion. I'm running 3 accounts. I'm running a clan. I'm a father. I'm working again, a real job, not just making content, right? Like, and there are other things I want to do. One of my favorite video games from my younger days came out, which was Age of Mythology. I tried to stream that. Y'all didn't want to watch it. I really want to play Space Marine 2. I love Warhammer 40K. I'm not like a diehard fan of it, but I like it and I want to play it. But I still have Hydra runs to do this week, which tomorrow is my last day. In fact, on my main account, I didn't complete the champion training event. And I was doing my free to play account right up until, um, right up until like 1 a.m. doing champion training on the free to play. And on the main account, I just used ancient shards to complete the champion chase instead. Because I am saving on that account. You can see here, this is the main account. I have 18 sacreds. You'll see I'm down to 2 ancients now. I've got 102 voids, 3 primals. I've been saving these voids for a minute, but the bottom line is I am going to do that second summon rush that's in the calendar here on the main account, right? I'm going to get these 50 fragments, which means I can skip 2 things. Originally, the plan was to skip the champion chase and the summon rush, but because I was so distracted over the weekend, being a father, being a husband, and working this weekend, because I work a retail job, so of course I have to work weekends. That I was unable to do. I completely just forgot about the champion training event until like 10 o'clock last night, which was the last day to do it. So I did it on the free to play, but over here on the champion training, I went ahead and spent the ancient shards to complete the champion chase. So I still have the correct number of fragments that I should have. I summoned a copy of her for that as well. Um, and I think I'm 25. Oh, yeah, 25 short because 25 of those fragments will come from the summon rush at the end. So I'm still on track. Um, so, but anyways, like there's no way I would have been able to do it, regardless of my shard count or anything like that. Just given my work schedule and my time and everything, I don't think I could have done it on 3 accounts. That would have been a very big ask. Well, I would say I wouldn't have been able to do it with the way that they laid it out. I think it would have been easier for me if I had started it, with the summon rush and everything. But either way, I've said what I said, and I've explained kind of how I didn't want to go for the fusion, and we're just gonna leave it at that from this point forward. But I did want to address it. I did want to respond and kind of like indicate why I felt the way that I felt. I agree. I could be wrong. Um, in fact, I think the only part that I probably couldn't. I mean, it's intimidating. I mean, it is, and I understand maybe it's been a while since your account was low level, or maybe you guys have safety nets, or you've planned better than me. But I'm talking about doing stage 13 ice golem, stage 10 spider. I could probably do a higher stage of spider now, but stage 16 is where I was farming dragon. Fire Knight, I can barely do stage 13, and that's with manual. So, I don't feel super confident right now in my account, and so I made the choice that I made. I would have been willing to risk it if things were reversed, and that's not the way that it rolled. The other part of this, and I really want to point this out, is that it kind of ended up being really good for me. I'm not saying Hearn Dig's better than Thor. I'm not saying that. That is not a thing. I think Thor is better, but Hearn Dig's pretty dang good. I'm really excited to have him this early on an account. First of all, he's a decreased defense champion, which is a replacement for Tyrell now. Once he's booked, 75% is not exactly the best chances, right? But then here I have weaken and a conditional HP burn. Not great for the HP burn portion of it, but the weaken is really good. So I now have decreased defense and weaken on one champion, granted across 2 different abilities. And he's got some really cool turn meter stuff. Like, I'm excited about Hearn Dig. I really, really am. I almost might build him before my Hefrack. Maybe even before Loki, as crazy as that sounds. But I have also made a decision on who my next 6-star is going to be, and it might seem kind of strange to you guys. I think the most obvious choice is Ursula. Increased defense and strengthen, a decreased attack on a 3-turn cooldown with increased attack and void affinity, so it will always hit. Turn meter on the A1. Lots of books. Although you only need one. Well, see, this is what gets me. This being a 5-turn cooldown is kind of what gets me. So I really want this ability up a lot. I want that strengthen. Granted, it is 3 turns, but still on a 5-turn cooldown. So, yeah, Ursula will get built. I'm not saying that. I'm not saying anything crazy enough that she's not going to get built. Please don't misrepresent me. But I think Claude's going to help me a little bit more right now. Slightly fewer books, still a lot, not going to lie. but we do get the increased speed and most importantly, the increased accuracy. Accuracy is something that is plaguing my account quite a bit. You can see I only have 111 accuracy on Ninja. I'm good on Venomage because I built him for accuracy. Kale, who is also kind of one of my nukers, is also built for nuking, and so only 82 accuracy. This is not enough accuracy for higher levels of clan boss. But I can help myself by bringing somebody like Claude Beastfeeder, who also just happens to give me increased speed, which will make me much faster. Oh, and by the way, also gives me a decent shield to give me some more survivability and longevity. So that's kind of who I'm going to go with. The team is pretty much going to remain the same, although Tyrell will probably be expendable here pretty soon. Well, Tyrell's going to be my lead. That's the big thing. Now, I could go Venomage for the lead if we're really wanting accuracy, but I think the defense in all battles is going to give me more survivability. So Tyrell in the lead with Claude, and then my 360s so far. So we're going to try that team out. We're going to see how well it works. I'm not saying that Claude is better than Ursula. I'm not saying Ursula is not going to get built. I do believe Ursula will be built. I do believe Ursula is going to be very, very integral to the account. I really, really do. Obviously, eventually, we want to build a man-eater team. There's a lot of unkillable man-eater teams out there, different combinations of such. The end goal is to get to that point where we can build those unkillable teams for clan boss, and then also focus in on the dungeons. But again, because of dungeons and lack of accuracy and lack of speeds, etc., Claude does help there quite a bit. Reviving is nice, but at the end of the day, if I'm relying so heavily on this revive, then maybe I need to rebuild my champions a little bit, and it's a tricky spot for sure. But I do want to try out Claude, and I do think Hearn Dig gets built at some point as well. Now, the big reason I'm slow on building Hearn Dig is because I don't have any legendary books, and any legendary books I do get, I still need to finish booking Ninja. I don't necessarily need to book his A1 all the way up, although it's not a bad idea because it can hit pretty hard. But I definitely need to get Hailburn booked up to a 3-turn cooldown, and likewise on Cyan Slash. So I have a lot of books that need to go into Ninja, and I don't have any. I got zip, zero, nada. Now we're on our way to getting some eventually, but we need to figure out who to 6-star. Now, Tyrell did make a lot of sense, but I think Tyrell makes a lot less sense now when you consider that I have Hearn Dig, who can not only do that, that role of a decreased defense champion, but then can also bring weaken, a conditional HP burn, turn meter depletion, right? This, which reduces the cooldown of this, turn meter fill, and he's going to be, he's going to have higher stats as well, I think. Let's find out. Now, maybe less defense, but if we look at Tyrell, so Tyrell, 16, 185 with 1343 defense. And then, yeah, Hearn Dig, less defense, more attack. That makes sense. A little bit less HP than what Tyrell is. But Hearn Dig is definitely going to hit harder than Tyrell. That's for sure, too. So. Oh, and it's not that much. 16, 185, and then Hearn Dig was 16,000, I think. Yeah. So that's not even that much of an HP difference. And so, yeah, I just think Hearn Dig will be my decreased defense champion for Arena. He'll also bring additional damage for clearing waves and doing damage to bosses. Now, there are some areas where Tyrell will be better because of this turn meter reduction. But again, this is actually, no, now that I think about it, this is only 50%. And Hearn Dig brings a full turn meter depletion on this ability right here, with an AoE hit that follows it, that places weaken, and a situational HP burn. Yeah, so I think Hearn Dig is just a straight up upgrade over Tyrell, with the one exception that Tyrell's defense based, which gives him a bit of an advantage, right? But like survivability wise. So the plan is going to be Claude as my next 6-star. Um, I just really like the kit. Also, we get a little bit of a heal here. It's not super great, but it's also not terrible. Um, I do wish if it was of this champion's max HP. Like if he healed people by 10% of his HP, that would be really, really good. But, that is a big ask, not gonna lie. Like that's his kit is already pretty reasonable. So, um and of course Maneater eventually once I get the other pieces for an unkillable team. By the way, I think Maneater's fine by himself. If you consider again, we have a single target full turn meter depletion here. Um and he's actually to steal when he gets ascended. Really, really good. You have decreased attack on the A1. Um oh, and it's guaranteed if it's critical. So it'll happen every time on the A1 regardless of on all enemies if the attack's critical. Yeah, you'll still need accuracy, of course, but there's no and he's void affinities. Man, that's really freaking good. And then of course the unkillable. Now the main thing with the unkillable, you need to book it, and you need cooldown reduction to make this thing stay up, and you need speed tuning to make it stay up. It isn't I've never used an unkillable character like this in dungeons. Which sounds crazy to say, most of the time I had like a really good support. I'm actually rethinking a lot of what I just said. And I know that's kind of frustrating for you guys as the viewer. For me, so I still stand by the fact that I really want this increased speed and increased accuracy. I really want this. Because I'm taking out my speed aura, I really want to keep Claude in there. However, for dungeons, I do really, really like Maneater's kit a lot. This unkillable is going to get me a lot of extra turns, and I can manipulate that to say, hey, we're not even going to worry about placing this unkillable in the block debuffs until the boss. So this is going to stop. I mean, this is going to be really good against Ice Golem. That's going to help me progress there because I can have block debuffs and not get frozen. It's going to help me. The turn meter depletion is really going to help me against Spider. The unkillable will help me against Spider, so I can have like somebody tanking the Spiderlings and not dying, or getting poisoned. It's really, really tempting to build Maneater. I think a lot of people just think about him as that unkillable guy, but when you really look at his kit, he brings a lot more to the table. The only drawback is that it's still even booked a 5-turn cooldown, and I have no way of refreshing cooldowns. So this buys me a couple extra turns, right? But not really gonna win outright a fight. I still think this is the best choice just for now. Again, the main thing is that increased speed and that increased accuracy, which I need so badly with the type of champions that I'm running. And I think that shield is going to come in handy. I could be wrong, but hey, that's why we do this, right? We make mistakes, we learn from those mistakes, and that is the plan. Okay. A couple of other things happened. Now, obviously, we are in an awakening boost right now. I knew one would be coming eventually, but here's what happened, okay? So a couple of days ago in the Soul Merchant, we had one of these 1-star souls for Ninja for 20. I went ahead and bought them, not with money, but with this in-game currency that I earned, I got the 1-star ninja soul because I wanted brimstone on somebody for clan boss. I also saw, I think I got another 1-star soul for somebody. I think it was either or a two. Well, Tayrell has a 2-star soul now. And then I think I did buy a 2-star soul for Kale. I think I got a 1-star soul for Venom Mage. So I've been picking up souls in the shop when I see them and making sure to try and progress these as much as I can. One thing I did do, I think Venom Mage had a soul a while ago, and I had previously had Venom Mage with Cruelty. I went ahead and got Cruelty for you know what, now that I think about it, it didn't matter who Cruelty was on, whether it's 1 or 2-star. 3 stars is where it matters. But I went ahead and put Cruelty on Tayrell, and I changed Venom Mage to Phantom Touch. Now that I think about it, I'm not so sure that it was worth it, because I forgot about the fact that it doesn't improve the percentages until 3 stars. So kind of a regret here, but yeah, yeah. Either way, as long as I have 1 Cruelty, I'm happy. I have 1 Brimstone. Now, Brimstone may not always be the right answer for like an end game ninja build, but for early game, I got nothing that's doing 250k. I'm gonna take a smite proc, please, and thank you. So, I'm glad I picked that up. But what we are gonna do is go ahead and pull some souls. We are in the bonus, and I know a lot of you guys are screaming at me right now and saying, Roadblock, no, Clan v Clan is tomorrow. Stop what you're doing. Stop, stop, stop. My clan is not going hard on Clan v Clan tomorrow. It's a non-PR. We're going to be going easy. We're probably going to get completely cooked, and we might not even hit our minimums. Like, we may not even, if we're tier 6, we may not hit 5.4 million, right? Like, we're going to be very, very low. And so, in order to respect that and not accidentally score a bunch of points, I'm going to go ahead and pull them now outside of the Clan v Clan. Now, if you are looking for Clan v Clan points, if you are in a clan that doesn't tank 1 week and try hard the next week, go ahead and save your Mortal Souls. But for my clan, we are not going to be, we are trying to lose next week. So, so we're going to pull now. And hopefully we can get somebody interesting. I thought that was Maneater for a second, and I got excited. All right. I do want to check my wish list as well. We need to put Hearn Dig in there. And then for epics, I want to put Claude. I'm sorry I forgot to do this. I was in such a rush to go ahead and pull those. I'm going to take Tayrell out because I'm not 100% sure that Tayrell gets used in the long term. Okay. Sulfurion. Allure. Okay. Decent souls for decent champions. I don't have them, of course, but 4-star. That one I can sell. Ninja? Ursia. Okay. Not really anything great here. So if I go to the collection, I'm not going to keep any of these. And I'm going to go ahead and sell the 1-stars. Normally, I do like to sell the 1-stars. but I think in this particular instance, I'll go ahead and keep them. Because they're not going to give me a lot. Like, if I sell these, I get 140, but it doesn't do anything for me. And those are always going to be 140, right? So I think it's better to sell when you're looking to buy something, right? Like, if I was able, oh, if I sell these two guys, then I get 1,000, and then I could buy a big one and, a big immortal and go that route. Cool, right? And by the way, I'm not saying you should do that. I think the technically more efficient way is to just pick a champion and say, okay, I'm going to buy every time I see their soul in here, and I'll sell what I need to gain those points, basically. But for me right now, there's no benefit to me selling those 1 stars. It just boosts my numbers that I can't have enough to use right now, so I'm not going to worry about that. Yeah, okay. Well, I'm sure that you guys will fill the comments up with all kinds of reactions to what I said today. I will keep the outro short because this was a longer video, and I do apologize for that. But as always, I just want to say thank you guys for watching. I really do appreciate it. I do expect, I'm not obviously, so I'm recording this Monday night. I normally would be streaming right now. I'm not streaming tonight. Kind of related to everything that happened, right? But I will be back streaming tomorrow morning. I'm doing an account takeover for one of our regular account takeovers. We're doing it for Hyper. I'm excited about that takeover. Feel free to come hang out with me. Give me, it's very much a community takeover. I love seeing your guys' advice and responding to comments. I'm hoping, because I've been setting it up, to have multi-streaming tomorrow. So I will be streaming, if it works, and if I can get it to work, I will be streaming on YouTube and Twitch tomorrow. So twitch.tv/imroadblock. And then same thing here. You're already on the YouTube channel. You can watch it on the YouTube as well. But I am doing that. Many of you have asked for that because some of the viewers have said, "Oh, I wish you were on Twitch so I could give you my Prime sub." Well, wait no longer. I hope to be back on Twitch tomorrow, so I'll be on both platforms, and hopefully we can get that started. So, all right. Well, thank you guys for watching. I look forward to seeing those of you tomorrow morning. Again, it's a rare morning stream for me, so those of you that can't make the night streams, you can come hang out tomorrow for the morning streams, and I will see you guys there. If not, then I'll see you all in my next video. Oh, one last thing. Man, I'm so bad. Why do you guys watch me? This is no wonder I'm just kidding. Really, really good results from those changes that I made, though. Changing those, sorry, that's Nightmare. Brutal. So 2 key, it's close, 21.8, but I was also silver 3 when I did this run because I let my arena get away from me a little bit. But Brimstone on Ninja helped a bunch. And we've got Phantom Touch on 3 other characters, and then we have the decreased defense on Tayrell. So, Tayrell also survives pretty long. Yeah, it probably would have been better. It would have been better on Venomage. Anyways, yeah, really happy with the performance of this team, and I think it's only going to get better once I put Claude in there. Hopefully, we will have Claude built, and you can see how that team does. Maybe not the next episode. Who knows? Anyways, thanks for watching, guys. Take care.